If you ever leaned in close to your locks and thought, wait, is that me? Does my locks smell? Yeah, this video is for you because chances are your locks are not dirty. They're just 3 things that you do not know. Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rochelle and I share easy lock styles and real maintenance tips, no gatekeeping. Before we start, this video might actually help a lot of your lock journey because a lot of people start to think, especially when their hair starts to smell, is that they need more oil or they need more products, and in actuality, like, that might just make it worse. The number one reason your locks smell is because moisture is trapped, right? Locks are dense, especially if they're thick, long, or they are matured. So think about when you're washing your hair, right? When you're washing your hair, water doesn't just sit on the outside, it's going through the entire lock, and water can get trapped on the inside, right? So even after washing your hair and you use, a towel to dry, whatever you use to dry it, water still can be trapped on the inside of your lock for hours. And what happens when something stays damp for too long? It starts to mold, it starts to get musty smell, and especially, you ever smell like a wet towel? Sometimes it starts to smell like a wet towel, and those are your signs that you have trapped moisture in your locks, right? So your locks, they tend to smell after washing it, or maybe like you only air dry and your locks are thick and they take forever to dry. Those can be some signs that you are having moisture trapped in your hair. So how can you fix this? Because now that we know that moisture is getting trapped, the most important thing to do is to make sure that you are focusing on drying your hair properly, right? When it comes to fixing, here's what I recommend, especially if you're starting to notice like a faint of smell, is that you sit under a hooded dryer if you can, right? And you want to sit under this dryer for at least 2 hours so that it can fully penetrate and dry through. And if not, you can use a blow dryer. But when you're blow drying, you want to focus on the root. Of course, you want to separate it, and work through the sections and get from roots to tip. But if you're using a blow dryer, make sure that you're focusing on the root as well as the strands of the locks, and do not sleep with wet locks, okay? This is a big no-no, okay? If you go to bed with wet locks, you are just causing more issues and making the same issue not go away. Like, we're trying to fix the smell, and here you are basically creating the smell overnight. Don't do that, okay? That is one reason why your locks could be smelling. Now, another reason your locks could be smelling, and this is something that a lot of people don't want to hear, but it's true, and it's like your products might be the problem, to be honest with you. Like heavy products, like heavy oils, thick waxes, butters, some products that have scents in them or fragrance, right? They don't sit well on your locks or your hair, or they don't, mesh well with your hair, and they can get trapped on the inside. And over time, what happens over time? They attract dirt. They start to create bacteria, or hold bacteria, I should say, and they start to create an odor. And especially these are products that you're layering, on day after day after day. Over time, okay, you're going to notice signs of residue inside of your hair. Your hair is going to start looking dull, and the smell is going to come out quickly after every single wash. And that is something that you're going to start noticing, especially when it comes to using products over time. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to the products that you are using. So how do you fix this? You need to do a huge reset, right? So you're going to need to do a clarifying rinse, right? So this is going to be either you get in some apple cider vinegar rinse, and then you follow it with a deep shampoo conditioner. And your goal here is to basically just break down everything inside of the locks And moving forward, this is when you're going to start using lightweight water-based product. Stop over retwisting or overlocking your hair, and you're going to make sure that your scalp get the moisture that it needs, but you're not adding products that are going to cause greasy buildup. Now, in terms of the detox, I am just going to drop something right here, like a quick detox that you can do at home. Go ahead, screenshot this. This is something that you can do to help break down those buildup over time, and this is just a simple detox that you can do. And when it comes to detox and clarifying, you don't want to do this all the time because this can strip your hair, and especially if you want thick lock or thick dense locks, it can strip it. So this is something you don't want to do all the time, but this is huge. This is huge. You can do it for any of the things that we're talking about, whether that's the trap moisture buildup or the product buildup. This can help reset your locks fully. This last reason your hair could be smelling, which is a big one for everyone, kind of like what we've been talking about so far, is like you have scalp buildup, right? So your scalp, it's holding oily products. You have shedded skin, it's collecting sweat over time. And if you're not cleaning your hair, your locks, especially at the roots, like those buildup can just sit there, and guess what happens? It can cause smell too. So you can notice this, especially if you have like an itchy scalp, flaky, or the smell is stronger near your roots when you start to smell it. And if this is something that you're noticing, an easy fix is that when you're washing your hair, you need to start being way more intentional about cleaning your roots. So when you're cleaning your hair, you're not just rubbing shampoo on top of your locks. Instead, you need to make sure that you're diluting the shampoo with water, applying it directly to your scalp, and you're going to use your fingertips and you're going to go in between your scalp, and you want to make sure that you are getting it out. And if you are dealing with dandruffs, you can always get medicated shampoo. Some of them can be over the counter, or you can always speak to your dermatologist to make sure that it's not actually, a scalp issue, especially if it's something that's not going away. And then they can provide you with the right medication that will help kill the bacteria at the root, if that makes sense. Now, those are some reasons why your locks could be smelling and some quick ways to fix them. And as I said, like, it's really based on what you're experiencing. Me personally, over the 4 years I've had my locks, I have never had them smell. So I'm so grateful. However, here is something that I would do in a routine I would do, especially if I was trying to completely reset my locks. So the first thing I would do is start with pre-treating it, right? So I would start with apple cider vinegar plus water in a spray bottle. I'm gonna spray my scalp and my roots, and then I'm gonna put my hair into a shower cap, right? And I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. This is gonna help break down the buildup before I wash my hair, right? Then when it's time to wash my hair, I'm gonna go in with a deep cleansing shampoo. So this is, any shampoo that is deep cleansing. And then if I feel like I need something more, I might use like a Nizoral shampoo. I don't even know if I said that right. But I would use something like that, and I'll leave the name that I'm talking about on the screen. And this helps with odor, dandruff, and bacteria. And I would just go through, wash my hair, do the same process. Now if I feel like my hair is badly smelling, that's when I would do the apple cider detox, and then follow up with the shampoo, a deep cleansing shampoo. But it really depends. If it's not that bad, I'll just use the spray method that I just said. So spray, leave on for an hour. If it's really bad, I will do the detox method instead. Then I would follow up with the cleansing shampoo, go through, wash my hair. I am definitely adding conditioner because I need to put back some type of moisture in my hair. And then after that, I'm going to make sure that my hair is dried properly, right? This is going to be the most important step, and you're not going to do this at nighttime. You're going to want to do this first thing in the morning. So make sure that you're choosing a day where you either know you don't got nothing to do for the rest of the day, especially if you don't have a dryer, or If you do have a dry hair, still regardless, do this at the start of the day so that your hair can be completely dried. You want your hair to be fully dried through. As I said, if you're using a blow dryer, at least 2 hours under the blow dryer, hour and a half to 2 hours. If you're air drying it or blow drying it section by section, if you're air drying it, you need to give yourself wool day before you go to bed, because you're just gonna create the issue again, right? After your hair is fully dried, or after the wash, or during the drying process, washing, I'm gonna use some water with a little drop of essential oil and just spray it in my hair during the drying process. And as I said, you can skip this part, to be honest, you don't have to, but this is just me, because I know that I'm not gonna add any products to my hair right now, just so I can get it to where I want it to be and ensure that the smell is fully gone. And so that's what I would do. And if you are working out, I highly recommend that you wash your hair more often, so that you don't have any smells that build up over time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is something that you really have to take into consideration. So that is kind of how I would go about it, to help get rid of the smell based on how bad it is. I said I would approach it two-way, meet in the middle, shampoo, conditioner, add a little sprays or essential oils back to my hair, and I would just let it be for like a little bit to ensure that it's fully gone. Once I notice it's gone, then I would create this new routine of ensuring that like my hair is being fully dried, I don't have any product buildup, and I'm doing whatever I need to do to keep it healthy and smelling fresh, period. Because smelly ear, you must be mad. Now let me say this, y'all, because as you guys know, if your locks smell, it is fixable. You just have to make sure that you stop masking it with products and oil, stop skipping wash day, stop pretending like you don't smell it, and stop going to bed with wet hair. If that's what you're doing, stop doing that, because that's what's going to keep you in the cycle of smelling yucky, and we're not doing that anymore. Okay, it is now second quarter. We're not doing that. We're moving forward with healthy, thriving locks. Okay, if you found this video helpful, if your locks ever smelled before, what are some things that you use? Help us out. You guys know we are a community. We love to help people out and tell them what are some things that you did to help overcome the smell, especially if it wasn't something that I mentioned. It could also be your diet. I forgot to mention that. Like, sometimes certain things that you eat can cause your hair to smell. So let us know how did you find out? What did you do to fix it? Let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.